Greetings everyone and welcome. I'm your host Captain Rye, and in today's video I'm playing in the Tier 6 Premium Commonwealth Cruiser Perth here in World of Warships. Today's video is a little bit of a contingency video, not what I had necessarily intended to put up, but as I'm feeling a bit under the weather this week, it was a necessity to pick something that was relatively short. As the battle gets underway, it's New Dawn. It is a Tier 7 maximum battle. If you look at the team's lineup list there's only one destroyer per team, and there are only 2 battleships per team. The rest are cruisers, so the Perth is going to do really well in this game. Now, if you're unfamiliar with the Perth, it was removed from sale a while ago in the premium shop, but every now and again you can catch it popping back up there. Unlike the other cruisers with smoke and high explosive, the Perth isn't completely considered OP, but it is certainly misunderstood, as we will see here. Now, I am pushing towards where the sea cap point would be on this map, but I'm not alone. I've got a couple of cruisers coming with me. Notice that an enemy Pepsi Cola pushing out of his base down towards where I am, just outside of gun range, so I slow down and I pop the smoke screen. But you'll notice I'm not stopped in my smoke screen. I'm moving at a quarter speed, just like the HMCS Haida. The Perth has a creeping smoke screen. Now, if you've got the smoke screen module, that's a special module that you can get, is a loot crate item from super containers. It will extend the duration of your smokescreen generator by quite a bit. The smokescreen itself doesn't last very long, so you do have to remember that. This Pepsi Cola has taken quite a beating from various players here, and you'll notice that he's turned broadside onto me, so I switch over to the armor piercing rounds. These are only 6-inch guns, but they've got a quick reload, and 6-inch guns are more than enough when you're given broadside. So there's my first Citadel in the game, my first kill in the game, and a first blood to go. But notice the announcer there said, "Off to a Kraken start." Well, yes, I think this game is going to result in a Kraken, especially because the announcer said so. Enemy Omaha pushing up there. It looks like that Omaha is definitely stuck, but look how low health he's getting. I've already set him on fire, hit him again, finish him off with burning. Didn't even bother to waste my rear rounds, though. That wouldn't have mattered all that much. So there's the first 2 kills in the game go to me in this situation. Smokescreen is about to run out, but that's alright. Nothing on the enemy team is currently in range for me to shoot at, and given the way the gun detection works, even if they were in range, there's an island right here to block line of sight. So start speeding up again, push back around behind this island, and now I'm going to go ahead and I'm going to start making my turn towards the enemy base. The enemy seems to be concentrated back over there, so that's where I'm going to head. Plus, you never know, they could start pushing up the other side of the map as the enemy team manages to secure their first kill in the game. Pay attention to chat here, as somebody on my team is going to specifically ask about the Perth's smoke screen. And I'm always happy to tell you in chat, provided I'm not in the middle of trying to stay alive or murder the enemy team to death. As I push up here, I'm using my torpedo tubes. The Perth does get torpedoes. There's 4 per side. They can do the British torpedo tube launching thing and launch a single file, as again we'll see later in this game. Using those torpedo tubes to see whether or not this battleship is sailing away and how quickly the battleship is going. It is a French battleship, so he is a little bit of a quick player here, and something that needs to be accounted for as I provide lead. Now I'm pushing up here, my smoke screen is still about 50 seconds out here, and that's when I realize the situation I'm getting myself into as the other enemy Omaha pushes into my detection range. With Concealment Expert, the Perth has a detection range of 8.6 kilometers, just a little bit larger than the torpedo launch range, so you can't quite stealth torp unless you're running away and the enemy is chasing you. The enemy team has lost more ships. My team has lost 2 ships, so we're still currently up here. And again, paying attention to the chat, somebody on my team telling me I'm pushing a little too hard. Smokescreen is about 20 seconds out here, but I've already slowed down to the requisite speed because I basically want to be able to hit that smoke generator as soon as it's available and not have to worry about slowing down afterwards. Fortunately for me, the Normandy there, he fires off shots. They only hit my bow, so no citadels on my end, but this Shores, well, he's sailing broadside on, and he's a light cruiser, so I've got my armor piercing loaded, and I'm able to cause him some damage too with more citadels. Pop that smoke screen as soon as it's available, and now I'm dropping off detectability. Not going to stop all these ships from shooting at me, of course, but at the very least, I am no longer being spotted, so these shots are more blind than anything else. More citadels on cruisers that are broadsiding. Again, the armor piercing is pretty good, but when they decide to stop giving me armor piercing, I can simply switch back over to the high explosive and set some fires. Now, switching back and forth between the high explosive here, this Shore's continuing to give me broadside, so I'm going to switch back to the armor piercing here in an effort to try and hit him. He's getting pretty low health here, so if I can get a couple of really good citadel hits on him, or just some regular penetrating damage, that would be great. Enemy New Orleans also giving me broadside. There's 2 more citadels on the Shores. He's really not learned his lesson, and that's when the perfect lineup happens. There's the Shores, very low health, less than 2,000 health, and there's the Omaha, very low health, less than 2,000 health. So shots out at the Shores, managed to connect, not enough to kill him outright. He's very, very low health, so I fire there. Still have the armor piercing loaded. There's the Omaha. He's giving broadside, reloading the gun, firing shots out there. Shores is dead. Now watch this. I specifically aimed for this because they set it up for me, and there's a double citadel and the death of the Omaha and a double strike with guns. And one of the very few that I consider planned. And yes, that was planned because I knew I had the option. Now, I'm trying to get citadels on this New Orleans. He is a heavy cruiser, so it's going to be a little bit more difficult with the 6-inch guns, but I mean, come on, he's given me broadside here. And these shell arcs are actually pretty decent. I'm getting over the islands there just barely, and they're nice and flat. I'm doing consistent damage, but alas, he's going to get behind this island, and this island is going to block my shots before I can get the killing blow on him, which is really, really disappointing to me, as I am sitting at 4 kills. Yes, that's right. No 1 kill short of that Kraken Unleashed. As the announcer said at the beginning of the game when I got that first blood, off to a Kraken start, so I really am pushing for that last kill. Now, as I push up here, I was briefly detected because the gun detection range, but as I stopped firing for 20 seconds, detection range is back to normal, and now I'm trying to decide what ship to go for. Obviously, going after the cruiser would be a good option, but there are 2 battleships to think about here. There is a Scharnhorst that definitely caused me problems, and there's also that Normandy, which could also definitely cause me problems. Fire off single launch with the port side launcher. Now, I'm not foolish. I'm not going to try and come around this island with my torps out, guns ablazing. Instead, I'm going to turn hard. I'm going to try and use this island for cover, and I'm going to get back behind here. I am detected because I've pushed up a little too much. That's when the Normandy does spot me. You can see his guns start turning towards me. He's starting to train his efforts and attention on me. I'm going to get behind this island. I'm trying to set him on fire with some high explosive here, which just add insult to injury there. Island, fortunately, blocking his shots, unfortunately blocking my shots, but that's okay because that Normandy, well, look at that. It's continuing to sail in a nice straight line. There's 2 torpedo hits, kill number 5, and Kraken Unleashed. 5 kills so far in this game, and the game's not over yet because there's still 1 enemy ship left. So the real question is, can I secure 6 kills, and how much damage can I do in this game? Those torpedoes up there, they're going to run out of steam because they are only 8-kilometer torpedoes, so no chance I'm going to hit him as well, which would have been kind of nice. Have my high explosive loaded here. But this cruiser, he's given me broadside, so I'm going to switch over to the armor piercing. More importantly, he's preoccupied on the other cruisers that are back up behind those islands there, so I feel no concern whatsoever not using my smokescreen, especially because he's a French cruiser. He's got that speed boost. He could definitely outrun me if I do pop that smokescreen and slow down. And since he's already almost at the edge of my range anyway, I want to maintain my speed so that I can keep firing on him. More shots in there, keep switching back and forth between the armor piercing. Every time I do, he turns away, and every time I switch back to the high explosive, of course, what's he do? He switches back to broadside, but that's alright. He's getting very, very low health here. He has decided to turn his attention towards me as those shots come in, and they do connect. More hits there. There's my Confederate badge. Can I connect with him? Not quite enough as he gets taken out of the game there, but overall, 100,000 damage done in that game. Nothing like getting torpedo hits. I always love to see those torpedo hit ribbons. 140 shells fired. A good number of them armor-piercing, 8 citadels in the Perth. Confederate double strike, Kraken Unleash, and First Blood. A very, very good game, to say the least. Top of the team for XP earned at 1,800 base XP. Next nearest player on my team, actually Tier 7, British Light Cruiser at 1,200 base XP, and nobody on the enemy team even broke 1,000, which is unfortunate to see. Anyway, that's it for today's video, folks. If you liked the video, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, leave a comment down below. If you'd like to get semi-regular channel news and updates, you can do so by liking and following me on Facebook. If you've got a replay like this one that you'd like to see on my channel, you can do so by sending it to my email. And if you'd like to watch me play various games live, you can do so by following me on Twitch. Additionally, if you'd like to help support me on the channel as well as gain some preview access to some of these videos, you can do so by becoming my supporter on Patreon. You can find the links for all of those in the video description down below. And as always, I will see you next time. This is Captain Rye, signing off.